Hey travelers, welcome back to my channel. This is Advent Traveler. In this video, we're looking at 8 US states that are expected to lose billions in 2025, whether due to people moving out, economic mismanagement, or declining business environments. Make sure to subscribe and explore the channel for more global insights and economic breakdowns. Let's dive right in. Once the golden state of opportunity, California is now facing a financial crisis that few could have predicted just a decade ago. The tech boom fueled massive growth, but now, tech companies and wealthy individuals are fleeing the state in record numbers. High taxes, strict regulations, and soaring living costs are driving this exodus, leading to significant revenue losses for the state government. In 2024, California reported a staggering $68 billion budget deficit, the largest in its history. Major corporations like Tesla, Oracle, and Hewlett-Packard have relocated their headquarters, taking thousands of high-paying jobs with them. Meanwhile, the housing crisis, homelessness, and rising crime rates are straining public services. Small businesses are closing, and middle-class families are moving to states with lower costs and fewer regulations. As the tax base shrinks, California faces tough choices: cut essential services, raise taxes even higher, or borrow more money. The state's financial future hangs in the balance, and the decisions made in the next year will shape California for decades to come. New York is facing a financial crisis unlike any in its recent history. Over the past few years, the state has seen a dramatic exodus of residents, with more than 500,000 people leaving since 2020. This mass migration is driven by a combination of factors: rising crime rates in urban centers, soaring cost of living, and a business climate that many companies find increasingly hostile. Major corporations like Goldman Sachs and JetBlue have either relocated headquarters or downsized their New York operations, taking thousands of jobs and millions in tax revenue with them. The loss of high-income earners and big businesses has resulted in a staggering multi-billion-dollar budget shortfall for the state. Meanwhile, small businesses are struggling to survive, and empty storefronts are becoming a common sight even in once thriving neighborhoods. The state government is scrambling to fill the gap, but with fewer taxpayers and growing expenses, the road ahead looks tough. If these trends continue, New York could face even deeper cuts to public services, infrastructure, and education in 2025. Illinois stands as a stark example of financial distress in the United States. The state's debt and pension obligations have ballooned to some of the highest levels in the nation, with unfunded pension liabilities exceeding $140 billion. Chicago, the state's economic engine, is particularly hard hit, facing mounting deficits and a shrinking tax base. Businesses are leaving for more financially stable states, and families are following suit. Illinois has lost more than 100,000 residents in the past year alone, accelerating a trend of outmigration that's persisted for over a decade. This population decline is straining public schools and local economies, while boarded-up storefronts and empty homes are becoming more common sights. The state's credit rating has been downgraded multiple times, making it more expensive to borrow money for essential services and infrastructure. Lawmakers have struggled to pass meaningful pension reform, and the burden of debt continues to grow. Without significant changes, Illinois risks a downward spiral of higher taxes, reduced services, and further economic decline, making it one of the most financially troubled states heading into 2025. So, here's the thing: with the highest property taxes in the country, New Jersey is experiencing quite the exodus of high-income earners. And, this is causing a massive decline in taxable income. It's a pretty big deal. The state government is scrambling to find solutions. They've proposed several measures, including budget cuts and tax reforms. But these measures are met with mixed reactions. Many residents feel overburdened and are demanding immediate relief. Small businesses are particularly hard hit, struggling to stay afloat. Community efforts are ramping up to support those in need. Analysts predict that without significant changes, the financial strain will only worsen. The exodus continues and the future remains uncertain. But there's hope that with the right policies, New Jersey can turn things around. Now let's talk about Pennsylvania. Once a powerhouse of American industry, Pennsylvania is now facing a series of financial and economic challenges that threaten its future stability. The state is losing young talent and jobs as industries like coal and manufacturing decline. Many small towns that once thrived on these sectors are now struggling, with younger generations moving out in search of better opportunities elsewhere. This outmigration is leading to a shrinking tax base, making it harder for local governments to fund schools, infrastructure, and essential services. The economic stagnation is costing Pennsylvania billions in potential growth, and the ripple effects are being felt in both urban and rural communities. For example, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh are seeing rising pension obligations and budget shortfalls, while rural areas face declining property values and business closures. The state government is grappling with how to balance the budget without raising taxes or cutting vital programs. Lawmakers are debating solutions, but the path forward is uncertain. Without significant reforms or new sources of revenue, Pennsylvania risks falling further behind other states in economic competitiveness. It's a challenging situation, and the decisions made in the next few years will shape the state's financial future for decades to come. Oregon is facing a mounting financial crisis, with a combination of rising crime, visible homelessness, and ongoing political uncertainty driving away both investors and longtime business owners. In cities like Portland, the impact is especially severe. Empty storefronts and declining property values are becoming more common, while major employers are reconsidering their presence in the state. The exodus of capital is not just a short-term trend, it's leading to a shrinking tax base, which in turn puts pressure on public services and infrastructure. Oregon's budget deficit is projected to widen in 2025, with state officials warning of potential cuts to education, healthcare, and public safety. Meanwhile, residents are feeling the pinch as job opportunities dwindle and the cost of living remains high. Unless decisive action is taken to address these interconnected issues, Oregon could see its financial situation deteriorate even further, making recovery increasingly difficult in the years ahead. Despite being home to tech giants like Amazon and Microsoft, Washington is facing mounting financial challenges. Seattle's booming tech sector has brought prosperity, but it's also contributed to skyrocketing housing costs and a growing wealth gap. Urban issues such as homelessness, rising crime rates, and drug addiction have become more visible, straining city resources and public services. Meanwhile, a growing anti-business sentiment reflected in new taxes and regulations is pushing smaller companies and startups to relocate to more business-friendly states. This exodus is eroding the city's economic diversity and tax base, making it harder to fund essential services. The state government is grappling with budget shortfalls and increased demand for social programs. If these trends continue, Washington could see a decline in job growth and innovation, despite its tech-driven reputation. The challenge now is balancing the needs of a thriving tech industry with the well-being of all residents and the long-term fiscal health of the state. Massachusetts is famous for its world-class universities and innovative industries, but beneath the surface, the state faces mounting financial challenges. Sky-high housing costs in Boston and surrounding areas are pushing middle-class families out, while rural communities struggle with crumbling infrastructure, underfunded schools, and limited access to healthcare. As more residents leave for affordable states, Massachusetts's tax base is shrinking, making it harder to fund essential services. The state's reliance on income from its highly educated workforce and booming tech sector is a double-edged sword. When these professionals relocate, the economic impact is severe. Meanwhile, small towns are hit hardest, with empty storefronts and declining populations. Lawmakers are scrambling to balance the budget, but tough choices lie ahead. If Massachusetts can't address its affordability crisis and invest in rural infrastructure, it risks losing the very people and industries that have made it a leader in education and innovation. The coming year will be a critical test for the Bay State's financial resilience. These 8 states are facing serious financial headwinds in 2025, but with the right decisions, there's always hope for recovery. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other videos too. See you next time.